Dr. Anbunathan from Digitron Solutions. We will see how virtual test engineer works and the demo of virtual test engineer in this session. So what is virtual test engineer? Virtual test engineer is a test board. Basically, it helps to generate test cases, then test scripts, and then test execution also it can do automatically without any human intervention. So the outline of this tutorial is what is the requirement of this virtual test engineer, what is the approach, a broader view, and then the installation steps. Test board is the major engine of this virtual test engineer. Then once test board we use and we create test cases and test scripts, then we can view also test cases, test scripts and test results, how to view these results, and then we will generate menu tree also. What is menu tree and why it's required we will see in the subsequent slides. Then we will see the demo of this particular product. So we are from Digitron Solutions. So what is the requirement of virtual test engineer? The test engineering activities mainly it involves test case writing, test script writing and test execution. Virtual test engineer is an AI powered test board. It performs all these three activities without human intervention. So it takes two input files, one is a UML file and another one is a DB file, and then it generates test cases, test scripts and test APK. So here what is the UML file? The UML file, it represents the behavior of the application in the form of state diagram. Also the application widgets are extracted and then stored in a menu tree database. So how to do we will see in the subsequent slides. So what is the approach here? We have a MERN based UI. MERN stands for Mongo, Express, React.js and Node.js. So MongoDB is used for storing authentication and then storing the data also. So this particular React.js based UI is deployed in Google Cloud Platform based virtual machine. So MongoDB is used to store the authentication and the data of whatever test data also. There is a backend server which processes the business logic, and then it is also deployed in a second Google Cloud Platform virtual machine. So this is the second server. Then VT client in desktop also we have to install. This is exe, simple exe running on the desktop. So it communicates with the mobile device also. So this is the URL I used for this virtual test engineer. So digitron-virtual test engineer.tk. And there is a Git repository which has all the input files required for executing some sample test cases and sample project. So we will see one by one. For example, the virtual test engineer, you can see here, this is the UI. So this is the URL, digitron-virtual test engineer.tk. So when you go here, it's already logged in. So we can log out, and then once you re-enter, you can sign up using your email and username and then password. In my case already I have signed up, so I'll use my mail ID and then password. So already I have logged in. Now I am in the dashboard page. So once dashboard page, you can see different pages here: test board, test cases, test scripts, test results, menu tree, and feedback. So in the test board, you can see both the test configuration and test execution also. So let us see this one by one. So, and then there is a Git repository, you can see here, github.com. So Anpunathan VTE state diagram case studies.git. If you see here, so this is a GitHub repository. All the there are 8 different projects are given here. So you can see this first one, BMI. So in the BMI, different folders are there: app and Minitree DB, Papyrus, and then state diagram. App, you can see the APK file, whereas you can take this APK and install in your device. Then Minitree DB, you can see the BMI DB. So this is the database, Minitree database. I will show how to generate this database. Then Papyrus. So this is the Papyrus tool in the Eclipse. We can use this tool, and then we can make the diagrams. So you can unzip and you can see the project, whatever Papyrus project. Finally you can get this UML file, which is a state diagram basically. So how it will look like, you can see here. This is the Eclipse environment. So here Papyrus is already installed. So in the Papyrus, you can go to the file and then new Papyrus project you can generate. So you can create new Papyrus project. You will get a state diagram page like this. Then you can use state, initial state, final state, and then choice, and then transition. These kind of things you can use, and you can make a diagram like this. So this diagram is for BMI. Let us revisit this diagram little later. Now let us progress here. So this is the repository. It has all this information you can download and you can use for different projects. You can train yourself with the different sample projects. Let us move forward. So it's a broader view. A broader view shows the input-output model. The input is simple. 2 inputs are there: UML and database. So UML is a state diagram what we saw in the Eclipse Papyrus environment. Database is the one, Minitree database. How to generate, I will show you. So the database looks, when you open the database, you can see using SQLite database browser. So SQLite database browser, you can see for BMI, this is the database. You can open the database and see. Under Minitree, you can see here different widgets are there. So for example, this is a button, and then you can see the widget name is calculate BMI, and this is the root path. From the root, this is the path of this particular button. So if you see the mobile device, if you open the mobile device, you can see like this. So you can see the BMI calculator is open. Here you can see the calculate BMI is the button available in the app. So there is a UML diagram which is state diagram, and then a database which is a menu tree database. So it has the all menu items in a tree format. From the tree format it extract all the widget name, and then it is storing in a database. So menu tree generator also, I will show the functionality of menu tree generator, how to generate this database. So the output of this virtual test engineer is one is test cases, another one is test scripts, and then test APK, then test results also one of the outputs. So these are all the inputs, state diagram and SQLite database. And outputs are test cases, which is represented graphically, test scripts, which is Java based test scripts, and then Robotium is the APIs are given by Robotium tool. So we are using Robotium APIs to construct our test scripts, and then test APK. So finally these scripts are bundled in a test APK, and then once we execute the test APK, we will get the test results. So these are all the outputs. So again, if you go to this Git repository, you can see all the sample projects. There are 8 different sample projects are available, which you can download, and then you can work on this. Let us see how to install the necessary software to start this application. So the first step is some prerequisites what we need to satisfy. So one is VT client exe.zip file, which has to be downloaded from the Git repository. This is the Git repository. From that you can download, and then you can unzip the zip file, and then open the main.exe file. So it will be running like this. Also you have to take the authentication by signing up. So this is the repository you have to refer to download this zip file. So in my machine you can see how it is executing. So this is running now. It has to keep, you have to keep it open always. So now APK under test you have to install using ADB command, ADB -d. So uninstall the previous package and then install freshly vmi-debug.apk. So you have to keep the device connected to PC. Also the application under test has to be signed with the debug.keystore. So the debug.keystore is given in the Git repository, if you see here. So debug.keystore is given. You have to take this and you have to build your APK with this debug key. So this is the VT client exe.zip file. You can download and unzip and run the main.exe. So the next step is USB debugging. You have to enable in your device. If you see here in the device, for example, this is our device. So go to the settings page. In the settings page, you can go to the about phone. In the about phone area, in the about phone settings, you can see the build. Where is the build number? So build number you have to click 7 times. So you will get a prompt like you are a developer, then you go back. Now developer options, if you get, you will get the developer options menu, then you open the developer options menu, then USB debugging you have to enable. So this is the basic setup required. So once the basic setup is done, the USB debugging is enabled. So once you enable this USB debugging, then you go to the command prompt and then execute ADB devices. Then you will get the device ID here. So this is the prompt setup, the right setup. So you will get ADB devices. When you execute ADB device, you will get the device ID. So the next step is UML file preparation. As I explained in the Eclipse Papyrus tool, you have to use the state transition and you have to use the widgets in the Eclipse to create the state diagram. So for example, state is the one widget, and then transition is another one, then choice and all you can use, and then create a state diagram like this. So the state diagram looks like this. You can see different states are there, transitions are there. So suppose if you go and create, you want to create some state, just click on the state, then you drag like this. So you will get one state, then one more state you can create. So you can create one more state. So then transition, you click on transition, then you anchor from here, and then connect here. So there is a transition created here. Now click on this transition. So there is a name field here. So you can set the properties of this transition. Name field you would fill. For example, you want to fill some name, enter text, and then underscore ID 1 underscore 100. So like that you have to type, and then you click, then you will get this enter text ID 100 here. It's a very simple operation. You can do it. Okay. So this is our state diagram. So like this you have to create the state diagram. How to create the state diagram? What is the logic here? So if you see here the BMI app, the BMI app is here. So let me open the BMI app. So you can see here. So the BMI app is having the different spinners. Two spinners are here, and then two edit texts are there. One button is here. So when I click on the spinner, so you will get two different items. For pounds, you will get pounds or kilograms. So same way, if you click on the bottom one, so if you click on the bottom spinner, similarly you will get inch and centimeter. So you will get the first one, you will get pounds and kilograms, and the second one you are getting inch and centimeter. So now you have to set the edit text area also. Edit text area you can enter the value 85 and 100. You can enter the values. Then that's it. Then you click on the calculate BMI button. Then you will get the result, whether obese or it's underweight. That result you will get. It's a simple behavior diagram. It's a kind of flow chart. Flow chart or behavior diagram. You can take it as a behavior diagram. How the app behaves for user inputs. That you have to that behavior you have to represent using state diagram. Once it is done, then you have already menu tree database. I will show how to create menu tree database. So you have both. These two are the inputs for generating test cases, test scripts, and test APK also. Then the next step is create a Java you have to install. Then Java home you have to set in the environmental variable. So in the path variable, when you type Java, so it has to, in the command line when you type Java, it has to show the options. So for example, any command line you go, type Java. So it has to show the options. So then Java 8 is installed in my machine. So then Android has to be installed. Android Studio you can install, or Android repository you can take the SDK tool and you can install. So SDK tool, once you download and then you unzip and then add the path in the command. When you type in the, you can type in the command. Once you have to add the path, for example Android home you have to set the path variable. So then from the command line when you type platform tool and platform Android 26, using SDK manager you can install the platform 26 also. So Android home you have to set in the environmental variable, path variable you have to set, and then when you type ADB devices, so you will get the device ID. So once you do this step, you will get the, so once you do these steps, then you will get the Android devices. When you type, you will get the ID. So this Java and Android both are important for executing the test cases and test scripts, test execution. Everything is based on these two installations. Let us see how testbot works. So to see that, we will open the virtual test engineer screen. Last time we stopped here. Let us continue from this place. So let me select state diagram. Activity diagram and sequence diagram will be supported in future. Choose file. So here let us select the BMI state diagram YAML file. Now let us upload. Uploaded. Slightly move down. So again select the another file, a DB file this time. So select the DB file and then open, upload. Uploaded successfully. Now select the project name. So BMI in this case, package name com.zola.bmi, class name BMI main, desktop package name com.zola.bmi. So one important information here is, so if you go to the Git repository, you can see there is a file called casestudy.txt. So in this file, all these informations are given. What is the project name, app package name, app class name, desktop package name, this order. So you can see for BMI project, BMI com.zola, BMI main com.zola, these are all given. Like that, for different sample projects, CIDR, calculator, all these things, the project parameters, the information of project parameters are given in this file. So you can always refer this file to run different sample projects. So come back to the test board, again set the project parameters, set already. So now you go slightly up. So here test execution part, we will start generating the test cases now. So when these three dots are coming, that means it is backend, it is running the business logic and then trying to generate the test cases. So it takes some while, just wait for the execution to complete. Once the test cases are generated, then we'll do the test script generation and then we'll execute the test case or test scripts also. Then we can see the status here also. The status given, test configuration is done. You see now test cases are generated. Now we'll do the test script generation. So once the status is updated, once each activity is done. So you can see different status information here. Then you can click the buttons here for viewing the test cases and test scripts and test results. So now the test scripts are getting generated. So the three dots are running. That means it is progressing. So parallelly we can see what is happening in the device. Device nothing happening because there is no activity in the device as such. So now test scripts are generated. So next we will start doing the test scripts. Now we will start executing the test scripts. So for that you have to open this the exe. Then the device also we have to see what is happening. So there is a toast pop-up coming at the back end. So let us move this slightly down. So the toast pop-ups showing the progress. So now the execution started now. So one test case getting executed. So another test case started executing now. So you can see the progress in this exe also. So now the test execution completed successfully. So you can see the output here also. So you can observe, okay, 3 tests. That means 3 test cases are executed properly. What are all test cases? You can see here. One is BP0 test 0, BP1 test 0, BP2 test 0. 3 test cases are executed. Now the prompt has come, that is execution completed successfully. Now we will see the test cases and test scripts and then test results. So we'll go to this page, test case page. In the test cases page, we have to wait for some time to see the generated test cases. So here you can see it displays 3 test cases. Still it is retrieving the data. Now it stopped, it completed. So now what we have to see is we can open window 1 and see. The first test case is the recent test case is 97768. This is the test run ID. It is a 16-digit unique ID. So you can go and click on previous next. The buttons are there. Just click on this. You can see the test case displayed here. So it's a auto carousel. So it displays continuously. You can see here. You can move next, previous also, or you can leave as it is. Then it will keep rotating. It's an auto carousel basically. So it will keep rotating also. At the same time, we'll see other test cases also. Here you can see the test cases. So for example, so here it starts with the initial, then it launches, then spinner item 2 it's present, then kilogram, that is kilogram, then the weight is selected, then now 85 is entered here. So then you can see here, once 85 entered, then 100 is entered, then next spinner item is clicked. So here then once that is centimeter selection, once it is done, then the calculate button is clicked, then final state is reached. So this is the flow of one test case. Similarly, the flow of another test case is given here. So you can see the difference. For example, when choice is coming, you can see here. So spinner item 2 is selected here, spinner item different, selected different one. So here you can see so always you can see, you can stop, and when you move the cursor it will stop automatically. So the difference you can see here only. So we'll see other test cases also, previously run test runs also. So here you can see the another one. So this is the third one. Then test scripts, if you go, how the test scripts appears, you will see. So here test scripts are displayed. So first one, so here you can see here same way 3 test scripts are displayed. This is the first one, recent one. So here you can see the test scripts, the Java code is generated here. So it displays the Java code. So this is the test case, test T0, and then you can see here BP1 test 0. So once you move, it will change. So BP0 is displayed now. So like that, so the auto carousel will show all the test scripts. So now let us see the other test scripts also. You can see all the test scripts one by one. Then one more. So similarly, test results we can see. So it is retrieving test result data. So now it is retrieving, already retrieved. So first one, we'll see first one result is 3 test cases. So it is showing pass. The previous test run, so it is showing the result. Previous to previous also it is showing. So these are all the results of different test runs. Next we will see how to generate menu tree. So menu tree tab is clicked and then you see the project name BMI, then app package name is select Comzola BMI, then generate menu tree database. So now the menu tree will start running now. So we'll see how it executes. So it will invoke the BMI application and then it will crawl through different menus and then extract the widgets from the BMI application. So BMI is invoked now. So now it extracts the widgets now. For each and every widget it will extract. So it takes approximately 2 or 3 minutes. So what we'll do, we'll just continue the slides now so that we'll save some time. So dashboard, we completed the test board. So as we saw, okay, we uploaded the YAML file, DB file, we set the parameter and then updated the parameter. Then we test execution part we completed. So generate test case, generate test scripts, and then execute test scripts, and then we executed the test scripts also. So how the menu tree is working? So it's still going on. So we'll continue the slides. So view test cases, we completed this also. So here we have 3 test cases listed in the left side. The right side it is displaying the test cases. So then the different test runs, we gone through different test runs also. Previous next button we clicked and we saw the test cases. Same way test script also, we saw the Java code generated. Then the test results, we saw the results of different test runs. Then now we are in the menu tree generation part. So still the generation is going on. Once the generation is completed, then we'll get the prompt. We'll get the prompt here. So let us keep this one. So we'll wait for the prompt. So we'll see other slides by the time. So we have case studies, 8 different applications we have, and then you can take this application and execute all the case studies. So for example, this is a BMI caller we saw now. The FDroid is the URL where the repository, the FDroid repository, you can download these applications. You can build the application with debug.keystore. Then you can use that application with this to generate test case and scripts also. So these are all the locations of the source code. You can take the source code from this place. Then so this repository we know already. So the efficiency analysis. So we analyze these 8 different sample projects. So we found the number of the basis path test cases, like optimized test cases are given like this. So for example, Notepad 10, calculator 17, dynamic night light 14, free OTP 9, BMI calculator 3, CID calculator 16, token 11, counter 10. But if you don't optimize the test case, for example, CADR, the total number of test case will be 2048. So we optimized 99% test case we optimized. So this is the saving of this is the cost saving. And then the number of lines of code is 4798. Then the percentage code coverage is around 68%. Then the mutations, if you see, we introduce different faults. For example, random faults we introduce, and then we saw how many our test cases are capturing these faults or not. So if you see here, number of faults not killed, number of mutations what are which are not killed. So if you see here, the 3, 2, 1 like that it is coming, but some in this case 4 cases it is 0. That means all mutations are killed. That means their defect removal efficiency is 100%. So the number of mutants killed are here you can see. For example, for counter application, so 22 mutants are killed already. So out of 22, so 100% it achieved the defect removal efficiency. And then fault per test is, so per test case how many faults are killed, how many mutants are killed. So for example, one test case in this counter case 2.2 mutants are killed. So this gives the chart like this. So the chart is you can see the chart, most of the cases is 100%, defect removal efficiency is 100%, some places 88%, and the fault if you see it increases. Token is the most, 2.7 mutants are killed per test case. So demo we are seeing now. So then the Robotium rules, for example, to generate the Robotium test cases, these are all the rules followed. For example, if you in the transition level, if you click _InList_note 1, then the Robotium API selected is click InList, and then the argument note 1 is taken from the menu tree DB. Then value from label is nothing is taken. But in the case of second case, if you see click _InList_ID1_2, so here also click InList is taken. So in this case, the menu tree there is no item available in the menu tree, but from the transition level 1, 2 is the index value we got. So like this, the rules are given for each API. So you go through these rules and then to design your test case. And UI Automator Viewer also you can use. For example, if you go to UI Automator Viewer, you can see this is a BMI. So you can click on different places, you can see the corresponding text. For example, calculate BMI, this is the text used, and the source ID is calculate CALC BMI. So this is a very important information to design your test case. So understanding of Robotium and then understanding of this UI Automator will help you to design perfect test cases. So that is one thing you have to keep in memory. Then some limitations are there. For example, single device test cases are only single device test cases are supported. Dual device test cases are not supported. English is supported, but other language are not supported. Then app class name, if you see the app class name main activity is supported, but if it is folder name underscore main activity is there, then folder name is not supported in the app class name. So that is one limitation. Then camera test case will be given in the future. Web UI will be supported in the future. Then the running in a loop, for example, I want to run the same test case for 100 times, that is not supported now. Then debug binary only it is. It's a currently debug binary is created. Then in the Papyrus model edges, object ID should be in the incremental order. For example, if you go to the Eclipse, uh, the the diagram page, so it has to be from the top to bottom. It has to be in the order. For example, first creating this bottom one and creating top one will not work. First you have to create top one and then create the bottom one. That will work. So there is one limitation. Then editing the test scripts is not allowed. See, as of now you can view the test script but not edit and re-execute. So that is not supported. Now we will see what is the status of the menu tree generation. Menu tree generation, I think it's done. So we'll go and see. So yes, it is created. So you can go and see here. So the where is the generated menu tree? So that we can see in device we can see. For example, if you go to device side, so once you can see here, once the pop-up is the click, then you can get the result also. Then you can see here the in the device, suppose if you want to see the menu tree database, you can go to the file manager, then phone storage you can go, and then you can go down. So you can see here the menu tree DB is selected, is generated here. So you can see the timestamp also, it is trace timestamp. So the menu tree is generated here. So that's it. So we are done already. So let us conclude here. So the conclusion is virtual test engineer can be used for generating test cases, test script, and then test execution also can be done automatically without human intervention. Thank you very much.